Hi, hello. Hi, Kemi. Welcome. Hi, Abebi R. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Welcome, Bolanli. Thanks for joining. So, in the next 1 minute, I'll start. So, just give time for other people to join. Okay, so I'll start now. Hi, everyone. My name is Sekinat. And thank you for joining this live session today, and I'm your host for today. I am an entertainment and IP lawyer and the founder of Kinas Legal Corner. So Kinas Legal Corner is a space that enlightens individuals on copyright, intellectual property, entertainment law, and data protection, and as well as other areas of law. But however, like today we'll be focused on intellectual property and entertainment law because today is the World IP Day, and apparently today is our first live session, and it's really amazing to be hosting it on this day, which is very important to us. That is the World IP Day. What is the World IP Day? The World IP Day, it's an initiative that the World Intellectual Property Organization started to educate people on the importance of intellectual property in innovation and creation. So today we'll be celebrating the World IP Day, which occurs every 26th of April every year, and this year's theme is focused on music and IP. Feel the beats of IP. So today we have a guest that will be joining us, who is an artist, an Afrobeat and Afrofusion artist who will be joining us. But before I invite her into this call, I would like to do a quick background on what IP is and how it relates to intellectual property. So I'll say that music is actually everywhere. Everywhere we go to, we hear music. We use music to do things. For instance, we use music to do house chores. We even use music to kill time when stuck in traffic, especially like Lagos traffic. For instance, I'm sure people in Lagos can relate to that. It helps you like reduce stress. Some people use it to worship God, to dance, basically to like ignite excitement and gives this great feeling and excitement. Sometimes the music makes you remember memories, which is very, very powerful. So if something like this can actually be so powerful to bring so much emotions to us, to life, don't you think it's something that should be protected, and not talk about the people who actually create this music? So that is why this topic, IP and music, is actually very important. It is very important, and it's very important for every single individual, especially the ones in the creative space, creative stakeholders. It's very important for all these individuals to understand this intersection because it helps to give value to music. So I would say that what is intellectual property? So take it as intellectual property. By the way, IP means intellectual property, and this means that it's a creation of the mind, a creation that occurs from people's creative activities. So it's an intangible thing. It's not something you can see. It's not something you can feel, like our normal property, like the real estate we have, like your personal property, like your car or your wristwatch or your earrings, your glasses. Like they're not things that you can feel, but these intellectual properties are things that are worth more than even these personal properties. But what makes it difficult for people to understand, because it's not something you can actually like feel and see. But however, that is why we have something called IP. IP recognizes these creations of mind. It recognizes the fact that people can actually sit down and think of something that can be so significant, that can change people's life. For instance, music. Somebody's creates a beat, write lyrics, is a producer, creates the beats. They all comes together and make a song that everybody is dancing to, everybody is vibing to, everybody is enjoying, playing in parties, using to ease stress and so on and so forth. So it just shows that this IP, this intellectual property, is worth a lot and should be protected. And that's why we have intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights in the sense that those laws or those rights that enables exclusivity for these people, it enables you exercise that IP that people can't see. So it helps you to put it in a form that you can benefit from it. So imagine a musician, an artist or songwriter who doesn't understand all these things. They don't understand what IP can do for them in their career. It will be very hard for them to actually benefit from this or even commercialize their intellectual property, because music is more than just talent. It is more than just someone picking up a mic or picking up a book to write lyrics or recording. It's more than that. It's actually an asset that can actually change people's life. Like, it's a full career for people. I mean, we know the likes of Wizkid, SARS, Burna Boy. We see these people actually like doing well for themselves. But like, what makes them actually able to like commercialize this IP? This music. I mean, it is IP. So the World IP Day has recognized the importance of these two elements, that is IP and music. So that is why we're also going on this live to educate everyone on how IP plays in music. So while we wait for our music artists, I would like to say that if you have any question, if you have any comments you want to drop, you can always drop it on the comment section, or you can use the question and answer part and I would answer to them. Okay, so now our guest speaker is ready for us, and I hope you guys are ready to learn. And I mean, it's one of the reasons why I thought to bring someone who is actually in this space is it's always better to hear from the perspective of someone who is actually in the creative space, to see how these things play out. I mean, we can always listen to different people talking about what IP is and what IP does to music, but it's always a lot better when you get to hear from a person with first-hand experience. So I'll be inviting our guest speaker. She's an Afrobeat and Afrofusion artist. She has a number of tracks and has been doing well. By the way, I'm going to share a link, so you guys should stream a song and vibe to it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So let's welcome Kemi Music to this live session. Hello. Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. By the way, sorry to interrupt you coming in. By the way, this live session it's actually a very calm one, no legal words, because I mean the target is to make people understand what IP and music is. And I mean, music is not something that should be having a lot of legal jargons that should confuse people. So feel free to ask questions. Don't be scared that I'm going to bring any legal words or anything. I know I'm a lawyer, but I'm also an entertainment lawyer, and I mean, I feel like that should make you calm with it. So feel free to ask questions. It's going to be a very, very, very smooth conversation. Hi, Kemi.
All
How are you
right.
doing
No
today?
matter.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can. And I said, how are
Yeah,
you
I
doing
said I'm good.
today?
Great. What about you?
I am doing great as well. I mean, this is our first live session in Kina's Baby Corner, so it's a big deal for us here, and it's really a good day. So
Yeah.
just to jump into the whole conversation, I have like a few questions to ask to share with us regarding your experience with IP and music?
Okay. So you can shoot.
Okay. So the first question I would ask is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your understanding of intellectual property with respect to music?
Uh, well, first off, I would have said, okay, let me introduce myself, but you've already done the introduction, so I'll skip
Or
that. Uh,
you can actually reintroduce yourself. You can also go ahead to
mm,
do that.
okay. Anyways, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Oluwakemi Fagboro, aka Kemi, and I'm an artist, like she said, Afrofusion, Afrobeat. What else? What else? What else? You said you would drop link to my song so they can stream. Yeah,
Yes.
please do not forget to do that. All right, okay. How would I rate my understanding of IP? Right, right. Well, I'm still learning, so I would say 6/10. Yeah, so because I'm still learning, ah, yeah, let me put it that way, 6/10.
6 out of 10 is a very a good rate. Because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
considering the percentage of artists or creatives that don't know about the IP laws, I think that is actually a very good rate, and I mean that is a very good thing on your hand. So my next question
Yeah, thank you.
is: would you say IP, that's intellectual property, has helped your career so far?
Yes, yeah, a lot. Um, yes, yes, it has. I was trying to remember some instances, but yeah,
So you can
100%.
Okay, you can share your instances. For example, like maybe there was a time you were in a situation where you had to assert your IP rights in quotes. Probably someone was trying to cheat you, but because you're aware of your rights, you're so like bold enough to fight for it. So like can you share like 1 or 2 instances? You don't have to mention names of course, but you can just give us like an insight in
Okay,
it.
so I have like two instances that I can
Okay.
remember vividly and share. So yeah, thank God for the understanding of IP rights. So I remember one time I went to a recording camp. I went for a recording camp and we recorded like a couple of songs. And yeah, actually, even when I went for the recording camp, not like I understood anything about IP. I was just an artist then. I had not gone for MBA. I didn't really know much about publishing like I do now. So I just went to the recording camp to record. And after some months or maybe a year sef, they came back and said, oh, they want to release some songs that were recorded at the boot camp, and these are the terms. They had not even drafted like a contract. They just like briefed everybody on the terms, like what they'll be taking, how the distribution will go, blah 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 blah. I didn't have any issue with everything they mentioned. My own was just okay, you want to release the project, fine, great. But where I had an issue with them was when they mentioned that they were going to take part of our publishing. And honestly, if I didn't know anything about IP right, or about my IP right then, I would have just let it go because yeah, when I started talking, it was like a group. When I started talking, like other artists like me were like, just let it go. Like, no, it's not that deep. And I'm like, no, I can't let it go. Like, I know this thing. This I can't let it go. You do not have any rights on my publishing because you didn't compose the song for me. I don't care how many percentage you want to give me on masters. That's if I even don't want to give me anything on masters, I'm fine. But is it that publishing? Nah, you can't take anything out of my publishing. And the guy was trying to like convince me like this blah 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 that he spoke to a lawyer. I'm like, you know what? Bring your lawyer. Let us have like a conversation. Like let's make a three-way call. Let's your lawyer be on the call and tell me where he heard that because you organized a recording camp, you are entitled to the composers or contributors publishing. And let me fortunately or unfortunately we didn't drag it, not like it was a quarrel or something, but they later understood what I was saying. So apparently the guy didn't really, most people just know publishing, they just know the word publishing, they don't really understand what publishing is and how how people should be compensated on that aspect. So it was later when he understood the whole thing, and he had to like come back and say, okay, he's sorry, this is how things will now go moving forward, that we should scrap everything he said before then. And so it's, yeah, I don't know how to
Yeah,
fight. You know how to fight
that's
about stuff, but me
amazing.
coming out, me even the artists that were saying, "Oh, you just have to let it go. It's not that deep." They later understood, and some of them had to like later come to my DM like, "Wow, sorry, what?" They would like to like know some stuff about publishing, blah 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 blah. So that's just it. And the second instance was
Okay, yeah,
when
on that one.
yeah, like I said, I have two instances. Was when someone from America reached out to me and was telling me that he wanted to like offer me a distribution deal. And when he sent the contract, I was seeing something about him taking out of my publishing. And I'm like, you just want to distribute my song. So why are you entitled to my publishing? But the guy is just someone that I don't know, maybe because they felt like, oh, he's a foreigner and anything they bring to Africa, we just jump on it because, we feel like anything that is foreign is juicy. But so I had to like let him know that I won't be signing the contract because now you can't tell me you want to distribute my song, you're taking out of my
Yeah, I had a network
money.
issue. I guess,
Yeah, I figured.
yes. And it was
Sorry.
getting really interesting. We're enjoying your story. Unfortunately, Nigerian network did its thing. So before the network like took us out from this, I was going to, you were saying something about your IP rights because you knew your IP rights. You were able to
Mm.
insist on. I mean,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
insist on your right. So that was going to like take me to what these IP rights are. So we keep hearing, oh, I have a right to this. So what exactly is this IP right? So the fact that we've already recognized what intellectual property is. There are actually some rights that enable artists and creatives to exercise those rights. So we have, for instance, we have copyrights, we have trademark, we have patents in the case of protecting invention. So copyrights, when we say copyrights, so there's a bundle of rights copyright gives to creatives. For instance, it gives them rights to perform their song, rights to be named as an owner of a song, and it actually gives like a right to, just as she said, there's a publishing right. It gives the right to claim ownership for what you have worked on. So and so many other rights. So it's very important for to know about these rights in order to fight for their case, just like Kemi has done. Or I know she'll keep doing that because there will always be people that want to take over like rights and try to take advantage of this fact that people are not aware of all these rights to fight for creative, not just artists, fight for everybody in the industry that wants to, I mean, cheat one person or the one way or the other. So my next question to you, I mean, my next question, you already answered that. So I was going to ask you if you didn't know about your, well, I guess while you're telling us your story, you definitely answered that. If you didn't know about your happy rights, you will obviously accept whatever is given to you. You won't ask
Mm.
when you are being told to do things. You just be after, I mean, let this music just drop because people feel like making music is just about dropping songs, but it's more than that. It's about creating yourself. And if you don't keep your rights, if you don't ensure that your rights are protected, they'll be assigned a way and you'll be left with nothing. So my question to you is, what advice would you give to fellow creatives artists, songwriters, producers, basically everyone that has a part to play in creating music.
I'll just say that aside from learning the craft, you also need to, like, to an extent, educate yourself on how to protect it. Because what's the point of learning the craft and you do not know how to protect it? So, educate yourself on how to on IP rights. Yeah, basically, just know the. You don't have to know all the, the big clauses. Just educate yourself on the basic stuff, and so even when your lawyer is talking, you will not be looking confused like, what are they saying? Anything they say, even if your lawyer is lying, that's true. So, and me, I'm probably, because I'm the kind of person that I always want to. I don't want to be in the dark. I don't want to um be fully dependent on people. Like, let me know about it's my business. Let me know about it to an extent, so that when you are maybe defending me, I can, I understand what you're saying. So just, and knowledge is key, yeah. So basically, that's just my advice. Educate yourself on the basic um IP rights. Yeah.
No knowledge is a waste. Even if you think you can't, you're not going to use it for anything, or if it's not relevant to you, it's important to always just read things out there, listen, because no knowledge is
Um,
never tell when it will be useful for you. Okay, so I think we can let you go now. So we'll continue this live session with other. Okay, there's a question. Okay, is a question for me or the artist?
Definitely for you. You are the lawyer. Mhm.
All right, from Abebi R saying, how does IP work with music shared on YouTube? Okay, so so this depends. Like, what does what IP work? So, like I said, I'm going to relate this with music definitely. So, let's use Kemi for instance, because she's here with us now. So Kemi has a song titled "Balance It." Then there's a a YouTuber decides to stream a song on YouTube, or even re-upload or broadcast it on YouTube without a permission. Do you think Kemi has a right to say there's an infringement, because I mean, she has IP to that a song, right? Does she have like a right um to insist that the YouTuber can't use such? So it depends on. So generally, like I said, IP has bundle of rights. First, one of the rights is the right to distribute your song, the right to broadcast your song. So, and those rights are exclusive to the owner of the copyright, the owner of the music. So, when someone else exercises that right, it's actually going to be an infringement. That is why I say it's very important for artists to be aware of their rights, because if such a thing happens, Kemi knowing that um she's the only person allowed to do this, she can go after the YouTuber to take such music down, or in most cases to compensate her for such work. However, there's something they call fair use. So when it's just maybe the person is just reviewing or just doing a parody of the song without actually commercializing it. You're not making money from somebody's work. Remember, the IP, the music belongs to Kemi. So even if you want to put a song on your YouTube channel, it must not be for commercialization purpose. That is, you're not making money off it because it is not your work. You didn't spend the time, effort, resources in making that song, so you shouldn't be benefiting from it except you seek permission or getting license to do so. So I hope that answers the question asked relating to IP, music, and YouTube. All right. I'm glad you found this insightful as well. So I don't know if Kemi would mind staying. Maybe she wants to she has anything to say before she leaves. If you have any other inputs regarding IP.
I don't have anything to say. Oh. Before somebody gonna ask me one legal question, the only thing I can say is just stop streaming my song. Yeah, thank you.
Before this live show ends, I'm going to drop a link. Or is it possible? Okay, when you come off the call, I mean you're going to still stay on the call. So can you share your a link to your Spotify account, or just share
Yeah, I don't know how to. Yeah, I would do that, but you can actually get the link on my bio too. Yeah,
it?
the link to all my discographies on my bio.
That'll be easier. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for honoring our invites, and
Thank you. You're welcome.
as well. So
Yeah, bye.
we're not done yet, by the way. Interesting. So um now that we've heard from Kemi and we've heard like the importance of IP and how it relates to music, I believe we have like at least a background understanding on how IP intersects with music and why it is very important for artists to understand their rights. So I would like to like give some maybe real life situations where some artists had issues with maybe their name or something. For instance, I'm sure we all know Kiss Daniel, and no, before his name was actually Kiss Daniel, that is a KIZZ name. So, but along the way, he had to drop that name because it was actually owned by another party and not him. So that brings me to what they call trademark. Trademark is also one of the IP rights that protects creatives. So trademark is basically it's a process of you registering a mark that is unique to you. So as an artist, especially artists who are well known with their names like Davido, Kiss Daniel, Burna Boy, it's always very necessary to register this name to ensure that it's not used by other third parties, or even in the worst case scenarios registered by another person. So it is very important for creatives to be aware that they can actually reach out to the trademark um trademark organization in Nigeria to get this registered and also like protect their names. We also have the issue of Buju. Buju, I mean a lot of people still call him Buju, but we all know that he has changed his name to BX. And sorry, the name usually confused me. I would have really preferred this to use this Buju, but this is the thing we're talking about. I don't know what had happened during his early days of his career that he didn't keep the name, but it's quite unfortunate that he had to drop that name. But the name Buju has now been changed to BNXN. So hence the importance of artists taking advantage of IP rights. Then there's something that happened recently that one of a colleague even shared to me. So we know that Davido just dropped his album Title 5, and this colleague told me she noticed another artist, Dami Crane also, Dami Crane, he actually released an album with the same name, Five. Then it just occurred to me that that could actually be an issue. And then the first thing that came to my mind was, I hope Davido probably trademarked this Five, the name Five, to ensure that nobody actually overrides on it. And while trying to search for the Dami Crane's album Title 5, I found out that it was not even existing again on like the social media DSPs. So that shows that I mean, that's like it's sufficient reason to believe that Davido had actually trademarked and protected that name. So when this Jamaican used this album name, it was very easy for him to take it down because he actually owns rights. So it's very important for creatives to know all these rights and use it to their advantage, because music is more than just talent. Music is a full business. It's an asset. It's an asset that is highly valuable, and it's like a full-time career for people. Then I'm thinking there's also one is scenario of an artist exercising his IP rights over another. I mean, I don't know if you are familiar with Said Oshupa. This is one of our legend, like one of the Fuji artists who, I mean, I don't know if most people listen to his song, but he had an issue with Portable around like few weeks ago or last month. Portable used a part of his song in his own song without actually asking for like permission for the use. So because Said Oshupa in this case is aware of his IP rights, he was able to exercise this right by instructing Portable to take this down, because I mean, like I said, you cannot benefit from a work that you had not used your effort on. You can just like for instance, where IP works, just like I buy a car today. I mean, the car is mine. I paid for the car. Then I park my car. Then one day, someone comes and start driving the car and start saying the car is his. Or the person just took my car, went to paint it. Maybe I bought a blue car and the person went to paint it black and start saying that is his car. I mean, the fact that you took my car without my permission is even an issue. The fact that you now went to change the color again is another issue. So that's the way IP fights for artists in music. The fact that I have recorded a song, the fact that I have fixed it into a medium of expression, I own it. The fact that you take a part of it, or you even use the entire thing into something else, does not make you the owner. You have to seek permission for it. So these are like just one of the many situations where IP has actually been there for artists. IP is like it's like the powerhouse that fuels music. The IP rights actually what gives these artists a a platform to be able to use their music, to make money from their music and to benefit from it. So if you have any questions, you can still put it in the comments and I'll be available to answer them. Okay, so I guess no questions. So okay, okay, I thought a question came in. So just be so let us do like a thing. If you believe IP should be taken seriously by artists, like if you believe, like you now understand why it is important for artists to understand IP, can you wave or put an emoji? Let us see that we are building, we're already building an army to fight for artists and creatives rights. Let us know that we there are people that are already in support of this. Okay, so like I said, this live session is not going to be a long one, and I mean, I believe the main aim is to let us like have the background knowledge on the intersection between IP and music, and it's not just a word; it's actually like a big thing in music. And I believe that we all have a background knowledge now on IP and music, and before I wrap up this live session, I like to say something that, do you know, like, or rather, it is really like exciting to know that music music the copywriting in music, because it's the bundle of rights that comes from those IP rights associated with the music actually lasts. In the case of copyrights, by the way, it lasts for the lifetime of the artist. That is, the artist can exercise that right throughout their life. And the most exciting part of it is, after the death of the creative, whether it's the songwriter, the artist, the producer, after the death of that person, they can actually still exercise that right for 50 years after his or her death. So that is why nowadays, the way we always have like estates. People, when someone dies, they always have like a farm, like they call it estates. People always help them manage their estates, like maybe their land, their properties, cars, or personal properties. It's interesting to know that even someone's music can now be classified as someone's estate, which can be managed and administered by the ones they've left, when they maybe their children and their representative. A very good example is Fela. The Fela family are still reaping the fruits of their father, their grandfather. I mean, if not for IP, I doubt that would have been possible. We even have the likes of that Green. Oh my God, that Green, that, unfortunately, like, his life ended so quick. It's I'm very sure that his family, the ones that he had left behind, are actually still reaping like the benefits of his music. We also have Barista, the Fuji artist as well. We still have, I think there are movies we hear these people's song and you'll be wondering, like, how did they get to use this music or this person and all that. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I don't, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of comments. Thank you all. Thank you for joining this session as well. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys soon, because we'll be doing more of this. Not so frequent. So, we don't all stress to be online for a while. We need to like do communicate via the normal post. But I usually like post content on this page. You can always repost. If you have any friends, family that are creatives, whether they're a songwriter, even up to a photographer, it doesn't have to be only the music industry. Creatives are not just artists. You can always share content to them, advise them, like always put them through, because music, especially Nigerian music, it is going very far. In fact, it has gone far. And it's just sad that the revenue Nigeria music is making, it's not actually coming to us here. Like, music is, it's what it, if music is well regulated, it won't be worth more than petroleum that we always use in Nigeria. So thank you all for joining. Have a nice day. Keep spreading the word about IP. Um keep advising creatives. Let them know that what they are doing is more than just talent. They're actually building an asset which adds value to them and even to the country at large. So thank you once again and have a nice day. And by the way, happy World IP Day.